Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Charles in Charge Cowboys Sports Report. It's Monday, May 16th. Been watching these talking heads for the last few weeks, last month and a half, and they are ridiculously so off the mark. It's hilarious. Please subscribe, like, comment, share, all that kind of good stuff. Every subscriber counts. But I just want this one episode here on what show is this? Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself. Listen to the nonsense in the first probably 7 minutes of this video. It is ridiculous.
Cowboys clearly the best team in the division.
Absolutely not. They're not the best team, hands down, in the division. In fact, I think that Philadelphia and the Washington football team, the Washington Commanders, have taken definitively larger steps forward this offseason than what the Dallas Cowboys did. I think that it's being understated the impact of losing Amari Cooper will have. We just had the conversation of Davante Adams and him leaving. I think people underestimate the amount of value that guys like Davante Adams and a guy like Amari Cooper bring to the table.
Okay. LeVar Arrington just said the Washington football team is going to challenge us for the NFC East. And he's comparing Amari Cooper to Davante Adams. There's not a comparison there. Cooper is a good number one receiver. Davante Adams is an alpha number one receiver. And Davante Adams does not disappear in games. He does not take himself out of games. Amari Cooper can be boom or bust, but he was never an alpha male like Des Bryant or Michael Irvin or Terrell Owens or either of those guys. And he can be replaced, and he will be this season. The little episode.
While CeeDee Lamb will be a playmaker and a big play guy for this team, I just don't look at this receiving core and feel as though they are as intimidating as they once were. You look at Tyron Smith. He's been injured. He's missed 20 games over the last 2 seasons. It's 20 games, 14 games in 2020. That's a lot of games, and that's your number one.
In 2020, 3 of the Eagles' top offensive linemen were out for the season too. So that was just how it was. Cowboys and Eagles had the injury bug in 2020. So Tyron Smith missed the whole season. So did Lyle Collins, and Zach Martin wound up missing a pretty good amount of time too. That's irrelevant to this year.
That's your number one lineman. I don't know that
number one lineman Zach Martin
should even be considered an elite offensive line at this point. I don't know that it should be considered to be a Super Bowl caliber offensive line at this point. And so when I look at what they're bringing to the table, sure, Ezekiel Elliott, he got his yards and the stats look pretty good. But in reality, Ezekiel Elliott hasn't been the type of back that we came to know before getting that large contract. It just hasn't been the same.
All right, our best lineman is Zach Martin. Ty Smith comes in number 2. This offensive line is going to be definitively better than last season with Terrence Steele at right tackle and a big man at left guard, Tyler Smith. And when the offensive line was playing well the first 7 games, Zeke Elliott looked like the Zeke Elliott of old. 7 games, had over 700 yards. Look at the replays of weeks 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. All right, we had a bye week 7. But look at those replays. Besides the opening day at Tampa, which they didn't allow any rushing yards, Elliott was killing it. That 6-game winning streak. I mean, he was doing everything. He looked like 2017, 2018 Zeke. So to say that he's washed up, if the offensive line blocks all year, him and Pollard are going to have a damn good season. These guys just don't seem to know what they're talking about, or they're just biased, one of the two. Back.
When I look at Philadelphia and what they've done, adding A.J. Brown to the team, and now you got Devontae Smith on the other side of that, that's pretty crazy. You add Cameron Jurgens. Look him.
A.J. Brown's stats mimic Michael Gallup's stats. And A.J. Brown has had King Henry to carry that offense. So everybody stacks the box against Tennessee. They stack the box against Tennessee, which gives A.J. Brown a lot of one-on-one looks. And he had Julio Jones on the other side of him. And another good receiver that they had drafted. I can't think of the kid's name. But A.J. Brown's stats are no better than Michael Gallup's stats. They're acting like A.J. Brown is Julio Jones in his prime. He's just a good receiver. A number 1, maybe a number 2 receiver. And Devontae Smith still has a lot to prove. And Jalen Hurts is not a very good thrower of the football. He's not. And now watch what he says about Cam Jurgens, the rookie center that they just drafted. They got Kelsey as their starting center. So Jurgens ain't going to play for a few years probably. But look at what this LeVar Arrington says about Cam Jurgens. It makes no sense because he will not start for a good while.
Ezekiel Elliott hasn't been the type of back that we came to know before getting that large contract. It just hasn't been the same. So when I look at Philadelphia and what they've done, adding A.J. Brown to the team, and now you got Devontae Smith on the other side of that, that's pretty crazy. You add Cameron Jurgens, look him up. That is a grown-ass man playing on that offensive line coming out of Nebraska, and he is going to make that line better from day one. Oh, by the way, on
day one, he's not going to play for the first probably 3 seasons of his career behind Pro Bowler Jason Kelsey. What does he mean?
The other side of the ball, you want to talk about mama, there goes that man, Jordan Davis with Fletcher Cox? Are you kidding me, bro? Like, this team has taken such a major step forward.
Jordan Davis and Fletcher Cox, that combo will not be any better than Fletcher Cox and Hargrave. It'll just be, Jordan Davis will just be a better guy in the defensive tackle rotation. Cox and Hargrave last year were a great 1-2 punch at defensive tackle. They just got a third. That's it.
Forward. Not to mention, you added probably a day one starter, and my guy, I love this dude.
Day one starter. We were talking. Nakobe Dean, day one starter. Nakobe Dean probably won't play this year like our Damone Clark, who we got round 5, who was better than Nakobe Dean. Stats show it, and he had less to work with and had twice the stats that Dean had. A day one starter in Nakobe Dean, does he know what he's talking about? And this is not just him talking like this. It is Dan Orlovsky. Skip Bayless is even sipping the Kool-Aid. It's just ridiculous. It's plain ridiculous.
Talking about this on the radio show me and TJ do with Plexico. How does a Nakobe Dean fall to the 3rd round when you got guys that were under his leadership going earlier in the draft? This was probably the heart and soul and maybe the best player on your unit, and now Philadelphia has that type of leadership, that type of playmaking ability on their defense. They improved on both sides of the ball definitively, and look for Jalen Hurts to either be a boom or a bust proposition. I'm thinking that it's going to be more boom because they got a lot of running game to go along with the passing game.
Nakobe Dean dropped to the 3rd round because of his injury. And he probably wouldn't have been as good as he was if he didn't have 3 linemen go in the 1st round. 3 defensive linemen go in the 1st round, and 2 of the linebackers that he played with went in the 1st round also. That's 5 guys that he played with, 1st round picks. 2 of them defensive tackles. The number 1 overall pick was a defensive end. So when you got 3 NFL defensive linemen playing in front of you, that's going to free you up to make plays, especially when you got 2 NFL linebackers playing beside you. Also 1st round picks. Damone Clark, the only 1st round pick they had on their defense was a cornerback, Derek Stingley, who went pick number 3. Besides that, their defensive line, their linebackers, nobody went in the 1st round. Damone Clark, hell of a lot better than Nakobe Dean. Well, maybe not that much better, but will be better. And they both have a shot to play later in the year. But Nakobe Dean is not a day one starter. Where the hell does he get that from? He won't be able to play in day one. He's not healthy.
Creates balance.
The question is, are the Cowboys
TJ Houshmandzadeh
clearly the best team in the NFC East? Clearly, absolutely not. That answer is no. Are they the best team? I'm going to say yes. They are the.
And this fool on the left, I don't even know his name. I've never seen him before because he's usually not on this show. But y'all got to see what he says here in a minute. It's just totally ridiculous.
Best team. Is it clearly? No, and I give them the best team because of Dak Prescott. He's been there. He's done that. But what you said, LeVar, you lose Amari Cooper, and statistically it is shown when Dak is playing with Amari, he plays better. I mean, it's simple. He plays better. You lose what they Lyle Collins. Yeah, he was injured, but you lose. That offensive line that is supposed to be a strength has become a weakness.
Lyle Collins was a good departure. Addition by subtraction. Terrence Steele played better at the right tackle spot. Once they pulled him out and put Collins back in, the offensive line lost that continuity that they had. And Dak Prescott, Cooper or no Cooper, when the offensive line is playing well, he plays well.
The Cowboys think, oh, we're going to get better by losing these players and other players will step up in position and play better. I just really like what the Eagles have done, and you said a lot. A.J. Brown, Jordan Davis, and the Kobe Dean and the moves that they made. But it's really going to, if Jalen Hurts can take that next step, the Eagles are coming, and they're coming really fast. Downhill. They're running downhill.
Downhill to the bottom.
And it all boils down
to the bottom.
Can Jalen Hurts take that next step? I believe he will. But the Cowboys clearly are not the best team, but they are the best team, and the Philadelphia Eagles are right behind them. And it all going to depend on one Jalen Hurts.
Now listen to this
I'm
fool.
with you guys. Full agreement. Dallas will take a step back this season. And we keep talking about Amari Cooper being a big loss and Cedric Wilson as well.
Now be prepared to hear what this idiot has to say. He sounds like he has never seen a football game or seen a Cowboy game the last 2 years on what he says right here.
But what we're missing is CeeDee Lamb ate in the slot. You guys saw the numbers. He was one of the best slot receivers in the league. Well, listen, when you got a guard, Amari Cooper, Gallup, and then CeeDee Lamb's in the slot, like he can dominate. He now has to move to the outside. He's going to face number one cornerbacks throughout the season.
He
That's
doesn't have to move to the outside.
He's very good. I'm sure he's up for it.
He doesn't have to move to the outside.
And just put another guy out because he's so good in that slot. You have to keep him there and hope somebody outside can step up.
I would agree and hope so. But when they lost Cooper last season, when he was out for a couple games, they played CeeDee Lamb on the outside, and the offense really shrunk. You remember that Chiefs game?
That was a mistake on the coaching staff to play him outside.
Now they know better.
It's a ton of mistakes. But to continue, it's beyond the wide receivers, guys. The defense lost what appears to be four starters. And I just want to remind everybody,
Okay, defense lost first. Only one that you could say was worth a damn was Randy Gregory. He's replaced. The other ones, what? Keanu Neal, DeMonte, KZ, who was a horrible safety. And whoever, the fourth guy that we don't have, if he doesn't come to my mind, then he wasn't worth a damn. So the only guy we lost is Randy Gregory, really, that made a difference on the defense. And, yeah, he's replaced. We got D. Williams and Dante Fowley, but I think D. Williams is going to be better than Gregory ever wants to be. Now, listen to this. This is just beyond stupid.
Dallas led the NFL in turnover margin, okay? You can't duplicate that from year to year. A lot of luck involved with fumbles and interceptions. I know the internet loves Trayvon Diggs. Here's the reality. He was a bad quarterback last year. Pro Football Focus rated.
Bad cornerback.
Burnt toast on the outside. If Trayvon Diggs...
He lit up some big plays because DeMonte KZ couldn't take an angle to save his life. DeMonte KZ lit up about 4 deep touchdown passes when Trayvon Diggs knew that KZ had the coverage over the top and just blew it. A la after he had that pick six against the Patriots, the very next play, Mac Jones hits Kendrick Bourne 75 yards. That was not Diggs' fault. It went on Diggs' stats, but that was KZ's fault because Diggs knew KZ had the top, and KZ just runs out of the play and lets Kendrick Bourne catch it untouched and go all the way.
That's another bad season. This defense is going to take a major step back, and I'm with you. Okay, fine. I'm killing Trayvon.
I don't want to keep interrupting you. You just said this dude was burnt toast. He can't have another bad season. When was the bad season?
It was as a...
Oh my goodness. Hold on one second. 1 second.
Make sure you stand
5-second
out.
commercial.
Go to win.
This fool here.
He was up for
Last year.
defensive player of the
Tell
year.
me. Okay, he was up for defensive player of the year. Tell me who gave up. Are you ready? The
Up for defensive player of the year, but he had a horrible season last year.
most receiving yards in the NFL last year. Just you want to take a guess? Go
Tell
for it.
me who had the most interceptions.
So what? I mean, again, interceptions are
He was
there's
up
a
for
lot of
defensive
luck
player of the year. Didn't he
involved.
finish like third?
A defensive player.
Didn't he
Are you
finish like
serious?
third?
It's a terrible season.
He was bad last year.
Oh
the
my
numbers say he was one of the
gosh.
most worst quarterbacks in the.
If y'all agree that that guy should never be allowed on sports television again, like this video and comment. I don't know his name, but that guy does not have a brain. I mean, for him to actually have the balls and go on TV and say that Trayvon Diggs had a horrible year last year, fuck out of here.
The NFL. He was torched
What?
repeatedly. I know he had the interceptions. Guys, interceptions involve a lot of luck facing bad quarterbacks. Hey, do you want to call up the quarterbacks in this
J-Man,
division last
how
year?
many guys?
By the way, Jalen
How many
Hurts.
DBs make first team All Pro? How many DBs?
First team All Pro.
Trayvon Diggs truthers, guys. Here they are. If you want them,
Ask the question.
Stupid.
here they
How
are.
many DBs make
Right,
first
you
team All Pro?
know, guys are voting
Two.
for guys who lead the league in interceptions. That's fine. I will guarantee you. We're making a bet for a second. I'll guarantee you he doesn't have half as many interceptions as he had last season. And by the way, it's not just Diggs. They lost guys. Randy Gregory's gone. You know, can you easily duplicate that? And then, as you guys said, the Philadelphia Eagles. My goodness, they had a great offseason. Dean has a pectoral injury. I think that's probably why he fell. But if he's starting the season, a lot of guys whiffed on him. But I'll also tell you this. The New York Giants, keep an eye on them. Okay, Brian
Wow.
Dable, I don't love TJ. You're already rolling
Wow.
your eyes.
Keep an eye on the New
I
York
don't love
Giants.
The quarterback. Okay, Brian Dable
In
is a
rebuilding
great,
mode.
Great coach. He made Josh Allen what he was. Josh Allen was okay in college. He had the tools. Brian Dable helped him make the jump to Lightspeed.
That's
If
disrespectful.
Dable can do anything at all to Danny Dimes, Danny Loose Change is what I call him. But nevertheless, then the Giants could be a threat. And I'll leave you with
Oh
this,
my
TJ.
gosh.
Dallas opens the season with Tampa and your Cincinnati Bengals.
That's
There is a
opportunity.
legitimate chance Dallas starts 0-2.
That's two L's. That's
Or-
two
Okay, that's
L's.
2 L's.
That's two
You know
L's.
the
Yeah.
New York Giants, they
Or
open with
2-0.
Jacksonville and Detroit. So
They're
there's
both
a
at home.
small chance that Jerry World, which by the way has never gone back-to-back winning the division, nobody has in the NFC East in over 20 years. If they open 0-2 and the Giants start 2-0, you know what we're going to hear. Oh, we had to pay Dak Prescott. We can't do this.
For over 20 years, last one to repeat was the Eagles from 01 to 04. It's been less than 20 years. You dumbass.
And the defense. And TJ, you're laughing, but this is a
The
reality.
Lions will be better. They'll be better.
Let me
You're
throw
on the
this one
Jared
out
Goff
at you
train, huh?
guys. Let me throw this one out at you. You had AJ Brown, you got Devontae Smith, you got Dallas Goedert, you got Jalen Rager, you had Quez Watkins, and you have Pascal that's added to the roster. You have at least 4 to 5 weapons on the outside and the inside that you can utilize to open up the windows and the voids of a defense on that field. Now, let me ask you this, TJ. If you added that type of firepower to your receiving core, and I told you your rushing offense was number 1 in yards per game, number 1 in rush TDs in the league, number 1 in carries before contact, would you say to yourself, we have a formidable running attack, and now to add the balance of that many guys on the receiving core and with the tight ends, how are we going to load the box and play the pass at the same time? So even if I'm not Dak Prescott and I'm not the best quarterback per se in the division, who has more of an opportunity to have success? Is it Jalen or is it Dak?
That's why if the Eagles take that next step, it's going to be because of Jalen Hurts. We all right now are agreeing to disagree. We all
All right, that's about as much as I want to show of that nonsense. They had all them same receivers last year except A.J. Brown. Okay, bring on A.J. Brown. The reason why the Eagles led the league in rushing last season was because Jalen Hurts couldn't throw the football. So they had a college-style RPO offense, where all they did was toss it to Sanders, toss it to Boston Scott, or Hurts would keep it. Or if they would throw it, it'd be a dink and dunk type deal. They're not built to pass the ball very well. And their defense has no secondary. As of right now, the depth chart on defense, our defensive line, we got Tank Lawrence and Armstrong on the edge. Got Fowler and D. Williams on the other edge. Micah Parsons will be on that edge also. At defensive tackle, we got Neville Gallimore, who ain't nobody to play with. Carlos Watkins. Osia Odigizua, who was a good rookie. Quentin Bohanna, 360-pound Quentin Bohanna. And Ridgeway, our rookie fifth rounder. It's not a bad defensive line right there, especially if we add one more guy. Our linebackers, we got Jabril Cox, we got LVE and Micah Parsons, Luke Gifford and Harper right now are backups. Damone Clark, when he gets healthy, will be starting most likely where LVE or Parsons is, and then Parsons just be a chess piece. Our corners, we got Trayvon Diggs, Anthony Brown, who besides Thanksgiving and week 1 against Tampa had a damn good season, his best ever under Dan Quinn, and probably have a better one this year with 2 years under Quinn. Jordan Lewis and Deshaun Wright. Kelvin Joseph won't play this year, I guarantee you. At safety, we got Javon Curse, who was a Pro Bowl. He should have made the Pro Bowl. He was a snub last year. We got Malik Hooker at free safety, Donovan Wilson at free safety, and then that UDFA Marquise Bell looks like he's going to be number 2 at strong safety behind Javon Curse. Javon Curse had a better season than Budda Baker did last year. I think him and OC are going to have a breakout year this year. Our rookies and our first year big players from last year, as a la Curse, and them are going to be even better in season 2. And the front office knows this. The Eagles, on the edge, they got Brandon Graham and Derek Barnett. In the middle, they got Fletcher Cox, Hargrave, and Jordan Davis. Better defensive tackles. Defensive ends, I wouldn't say they have better defensive ends than we do, especially when we got Micah Parsons coming off the edge. At linebacker right now, they have Kaiser White. Don't even know who the hell that is. Middle linebacker, TJ Edwards. Behind him is Dean, who will be starting middle linebacker whenever he's healthy. And then third linebacker, strong linebacker, would be Hassan Reddick, who will be more of a blitzer. Cornerback, they have Darius Slay, who was their only good defensive back. Cornerback number 2, Devontae Maddox. Cornerback 3, McPherson, and cornerback 4, Scott. Don't even know who those guys are. At safety, they got Kayvon Wallace and Marcus Epps at strong safety. Free safety, they signed Anthony Harris. Decent free safety. And behind Harris is Jared Maiden. Never heard of him either. And on offense, our depth chart right now as it is, we got Dak at quarterback, Zeke and Pollard at running back, receiver, CeeDee Lamb, James Washington, Jalen Tolbert and Noah Brown and Vasher. After week 6, we'll have Michael Gallup back. And off the get-go, Lamb can play in the slot. You can have Tolbert and Noah Brown on the outside, or if we sign a veteran receiver on the outside and put Lamb in the slot. He is most effective in the slot, and they'll play him there because they know better now. He won't be on the outside a lot. He'll be in the middle a lot because he has a whole field to work with when he's in the middle. And let him have one-on-one coverage. Or, let Tolbert have one-on-one coverage and see what happens. At tight end, we got Schultz and the rookie Ferguson. And they said the boy right now in camp can block. He is a blocking tight end, and he's got good hands. Not big run after the catch type guy, but solid hand type guy like a Jay Novacek or an older Jason Witten when he catches a ball. He'll catch that ball, get a couple yards, but he's not going to catch it and get another 20 like, Kelsey or Kittle or one of those guys. But he'll be an effective rookie. Our offensive line, Tyler Smith, who was twice what Connor Williams ever be at left guard. Center, it'll be either Biadasz, McGovern, or Lindstrom. I'm hoping one of the latter two. And then Zach Martin and Terrence Steele. Beautiful right guard, beautiful right tackle. On their offense, you got Jalen Hurts. Quarterback can run, can't throw the ball, couldn't hit the broadside of a barn half the time. Running back, they got Sanders and Scott. Wide receiver, they got Brown, Smith. Then after that, Quez Watkins, Jalen Rager, and Greg Ward. Tight end, they got Dallas Goddard. And tight end number 2 is Jack Stoll. Don't know who the hell that is. Their line, left tackle, they got Matalatia. I believe that's his name. Left guard, they got Dickerson. I've never even heard of that guy either. Center, they got Jason Kelsey. Right guard, they got Isaac Semolulu. And then right tackle, Lane Johnson. That offensive line don't sound a whole lot better than our offensive line. Gotta be honest with you there, and that's not being biased, that's facts. On the edge, they got Graham, Barnett, I already said that. So I've already went over who they have on their depth chart. And then for them to say that the Washington Commanders are going to give us a run for the money, and at the end saying that the Giants are a team to watch out for, they haven't beat us since 2016. We're going to sweep the East again this year unless Week 18 has no value for us if our seed is locked in. I mean, in the past, we've played to win. So we've, very might well sweep the East. But the first 5 games, we're going to win. And then Week 18, if our seeding can improve, we're going to play to win. We might play to win anyway if our seed is just locked in. But, yeah, the talking heads, when y'all watch these shows on Fox Sports 1, NFL Network, ESPN, take it with a grain of salt because half the time they don't know what they're talking about. You saw the host of today's show, which this show is usually Marcellus Wiley and Acho. I don't know why they had these guys on a few days ago, but that guy saying Trayvon Diggs had a horrible season last year. First team All-Pro, cornerback, was in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. And the only reason why he allowed the most yards was because of KZ, who is now gone, thank the Lord. And Malik Hooker is now at solid free safety for us. Malik Hooker, former number 1 pick, doesn't take bad angles. And he is flourishing in the Dan Quinn system, as everybody is. And Dan Quinn got the guys that he wanted in the draft. Watch D. Williams replace Gregory like nothing ever happened. And watch him even be more effective than Gregory at a way lesser price. And we just signed 1 or 2 more guys in the free agent market, maybe an Anthony Barr and that center that played for Cleveland last year, Jim Treader. If not Anthony Barr, Clowney on a 1-year deal, or Grady Jarrett, trade for him. Something simple like that. And we're gonna be a tough out. People are sleeping on us, but they shouldn't. And all these shows are just making me laugh because they just talking nonsense out of the side of their mouth. Don't have a clue of what they're talking about. But please subscribe, like, share, guys. This is the Charles in Charge Cowboys Sports Report. I'm 36. I've been a fan of this team since I was 6. First game I saw was Super Bowl 28 when we beat Buffalo. Saw us lose against the Niners the next year and then beat Pittsburgh the following year to win our 5th title. And been trying to get back to the championship game ever since. Yeah, it's been a wild quarter century, a little bit over. But sometimes it happens. But I got a feeling that streak's going to come to an end soon. And we're going to get past that barrier. Especially with all the youth and talent we have on this team. So y'all get ready, boys and girls. This is going to be a fun season. 2022 season, it's going to be fun. Especially when everybody's going to be sleeping on us. Let them sleep. Let them sleep. Because we're going to come out against Tampa and against the Bengals at home. And I tell you, if we knock both of them down, everybody's going to be talking different. And if they're not, they're going to be making excuses why we won and why Tampa and Cincinnati lost. But that's it for this episode, guys. I'll have another one soon. I just couldn't believe I was hearing on this show yesterday, so I just wanted to put this on the video, see what y'all think. Please subscribe, share, comment. Let me know what you think about these idiots that have no idea what they're talking about, especially the host of that show on that episode. And please subscribe, guys. Every subscriber counts, and it means a lot to me, for real. That's it for Charles in Charge. I'm out, and I'll see y'all on the flip side very soon. Deuce.